Hi, Power Via friends. Here comes chapter 18 of Quinny and Hopper, coming from Hopper's point of view. Who cares about a chicken? Quinny cares. I have no idea why, but she does. And that makes me care. I have no idea why, but I do. So I lead Quinny down the street. When she realizes whose house we're going to, she freaks out again. But Mrs. Porridge hates us because we soaked her chubby cat Walter, plus her grandniece Victoria, with that freezing water hose. I'm sure they are all dried off by now. Do you want some answers or not? I lead Quinny up to Mrs. Porridge's front door and knock. Nobody answers. So we go around back and find Mrs. Porridge in her garden yanking weeds. She's got Walter tied to her fence with his cat leash. He looks about as unhappy as she does. What now? Snaps Mrs. Porridge. We explain what, but she is not interested in helping us help Freya. Oh, pish. You won't see me going anywhere near that crazy old bird, says Mrs. Porridge. I tried to catch it once, and all I got for my trouble was a bunch of peck marks. Bottom line is, that chicken won't tolerate anyone but Herbert McSorin. But where did Mr. McSorin go? I ask. What do I look like, a private detective? Said Mrs. Porridge. If he wanted that squawky bag of feathers, he'd have come back for it. Or maybe the old geezer finally croaked. Don't say that, wails Quinny. If you children will excuse me, I don't have time to waste on things that are a waste of time. But we've got to help her somehow, Quinny cries. She's so upset and confused. She comes clucking at our back door every day. Don't worry. Pretty soon a possum or a hawk will snatch that chicken up, and you'll get some peace and quiet. No! Come on, I pull Quinny away. I have another idea. We walk back to my house. I make a phone call to a number I know by heart. No, he's not dead, Grandpa Gooley says to me on the phone. Herbert McSorin is living up in Milford with his sister now. Quinny pulls at the phone so she can hear too. She squeals and hops up and down at this good news. Her hair tickles my cheek, but it's the good kind of tickle. He can't get all around too well since he took that fall down the stairs, Grandpa Gooley says. I know his sister's been back here a couple of times trying to catch that chicken, but it won't go near anybody but him. That's what Mrs. Porridge said, cries Quinny. But there's got to be a way. It's a miracle Freya's still alive with all those foxes out there, he says. Please, oh please, won't you help us, Grandpa Gooley? Quinny begs, please. He's not your grandpa, I point out. Well, I'd be happy to give you a ride up there, Grandpa Gooley says, chuckling. But you've got to catch that chicken first. All right, here comes chapter 19 from Quinny's point of view. How on earth am I going to catch a chicken? I put on my sneakers, I do some stretches to warm up, but chasing her doesn't work. Freya's too fast. So I try sitting still. I fill a bowl with dried corn and sit very calm and gentle outside my kitchen door. I hold out the bowl and cluck as chickenly as possible. Bawk, 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 I bark sweetly. Bawk, bawk, bawk. Hopper opens his bedroom window and looks out at me. Freya doesn't know she's a chicken, he says. Mr. McSorin always talked to her like a regular person. Dear Freya, I call out. You are the most stylish, most beautiful zebra chicken person in the world. You are special, you are spiffy, you are fan-fluffy-tastic. That doesn't work either. Maybe not so loud, says Hopper. Mrs. Porridge walks by with Walter on his leash. Goodness gracious, we could hear you hollering all the way up the street, she grumps. Then she sees what I'm holding. You'll have to do better than plain old corn. That persnickety chicken likes worms and freshly killed grasshoppers. My insides shiver. Freshly killed what? Freya eats from our songbird feeder too, says Hopper. And once I saw Mr. McSorin feed her potato chips right out of his hand. Potato chips? We've got a big bag of those in the kitchen. So I make a trail of chips starting at the bird feeder in Hopper's yard and leading over to my house and into my kitchen. But squirrels and birds gobble those chips up before Freya even notices them. I keep trying. I make a trail of Cheerios mushy grapes, and string cheese. I set out steel marshmallows and leftover spaghetti and croutons, broccoli, tortilla chips, and a big stinky red onion too. Piper even hands over a few icky, half-rotted, wormy bits from her collection of backyard gunk. Every morning, I put food out. Every morning, Freya keeps coming by to peck at it, but she won't come into the kitchen, and she always runs off before I can get close enough to grab her. So I make a lasso out of an old jump rope. I practice lassoing on Hopper. It turns out he's much easier to catch than Freya. Still, I don't give up. I'm going to catch that chicken if it takes me all summer. Grandpa Ghoulie comes to visit Hopper one morning in the middle of August. Freya can sense you coming from a mile away, he tells me. You've got to sneak up on her. He gives me a big net on a stick from his car. Technically, it's for catching fish, but I'll bet it works on chickens too. Thanks, Grandpa Ghoulie. I swing that net through the air. I pretend I'm sneaking up on a chicken. This could work. But what's sneakier than sneaking up on someone? Sneaking down on them, of course. So I built a pile of gummy worms, the next best thing to real worms, in Hopper's bird feeder. Then I climb the big tree next to it and sit on a long, thick branch. Now I'm high enough over that bird feeder so Freya won't see me, but low enough to reach down and scoop her into the net. What makes you think chickens don't look up? Hopper asks from down on the ground. Shh, I tell him. Get up here. Hopper climbs the tree and keeps me company as I wait. It's fun at first, but we can see my whole yard from up here. His too, but we can't talk or we'll scare away Freya. Pretty soon my bottom gets sore from sitting on this pokey tree branch, and my mouth gets twitchy from not talking, and my stomach grumbles of boredom. Shh, I tell my stomach. Just when I think I can't wait in this tree a minute longer, Freya finally shows up. She looks around, all careful and suspicious, and then hops up onto the bird feeder and starts pecking away at those gummy worms. This is it. I reach down to catch her with the net, but I'm so excited that I guess I reach a little too far. My balance wobbles and my grip slips, and no! I get that quick, sicky roller coaster feeling in my tummy as I tumble off the tree branch. I'm falling right onto Freya. All right, friends, I'll stop there. Next time I'll pick up on chapter 20, coming from Hopper's point of view. I hope you had a great day, got outside and got some fresh air, and have a great day. Miss you. Mwah.